back to another video. I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen my videos on Blackbeard. If you haven't, go check those out. Link to part 1 will be in the description. Blackbeard, as you can see if you watch my videos, had a pretty insane life. But this next guy is so just amazing. He is probably, in my opinion, one of my favorite pirates ever. When you think of pirates, you probably think of like, oh, Blackbeard, Steve Bonnet. Yeah, of course you think of Steve Bonnet. Of course you think of him. But one that stands out for just his sheer success is Bartholomew Roberts. So he was born in Haverford West in Wales, supposedly in 1682, and that's pretty much all we know about him. As you saw with the Blackbeard video, we didn't know a lot about his early life either. That's kind of how it is with pirates. And a lot of people think like, oh, he set out to sea when he was only 13 years old, and let me see, 1695. Yeah, there's no real evidence to support this. However, the first records of him as a sailor are in 1718. So in 1719, Roberts is the second in command on board the slave ship the Princess, and while in that state, he earns £4 a month, and that's not a whole lot. In 1719, the ship the Princess arrives in Anamabu Bay in Guinea. But while Roberts is stationed there on board the Princess, the pirate Hal Davis with his ships, the Royal Rover and the Royal James, takes several ships in that harbor, including Roberts' ship. Hal Davis forces several prisoners from the Princess on board his ship, the Royal Rover, and him and Roberts are both Welsh, and they become friends. So Roberts was eventually promoted to a navigator on board the ship. So they had the two ships, the Royal Rover and the Royal James, but the Royal James was eventually discarded because of damage it got from. But while the Royal Rover head to Principe. Okay, hold on a second. Just get my old globe here. Let's see where. Principe. Yeah, it's right there. You can see it right there. At the time, it was a Portuguese settlement. I don't know. It might be Portuguese. No, probably not. No. Okay. Back then, and Hal Davis runs out a British flag to make it seem like the Royal Rover is a British ship, so they are allowed to enter the harbor. Davis was intending to kidnap the governor of Principe and was intending to hold him for ransom. So Davis sent several of his men ashore at Principe to let the governor know, hey, you're invited for lunch if you want to come. Davis and his men find... Okay, so there is some stuff going on downstairs, and I'm going to have to wait a little bit until they pass and they finally... Bro, can you stick your finger in this? Okay. So the governor is like, sure, yeah, I'll go for lunch with this strange guy who just came into harbor. Sure, why not? But then eventually they find out that Hal Davis is a pirate and all these little dudes are pirates. And while Davis goes ashore with his men to go and get the governor to invite him for lunch, there's an ambush. Davis is shot 5 times, and of course he is kind of dead now. So after Davis's death, the crew was divided into lords and commons or something. I don't know. So the lords would get to elect the captain of the new ship. Get to elect the new captain, I mean. And Roberts was, despite being with them for only around 6 weeks, elect the captain. Why exactly? Because Roberts had good navigational skills and a really bold and courageous personality. And And they elected him captain. Mr. Roberts, you're our captain. Thank you, grateful. We're obliged to be your captain. Well, thank you. Yes, but what is our next plan of action? You know that town? Yeah, you know that town where my old buddy was killed? Oh, yeah, I know, yeah. Yeah, well, here's an idea. How about we burn it? So that's what exactly it does. Roberts is so angry about Davis's death, he wants to just burn the town. He wants to burn it and loot it. Of course, they attack the town. They go to the fort, and cannons are going off. And they attack the fort, and they destroy it, and they're destroying it, and they destroy it. They manage to throw all of the fort's cannons over into the water, set the fort on fire, and make off with all the loot that they can, and they also kill a majority of the male population of Principe. Big smiles on their faces, they left Principe, walked under the light of 2 burning Portuguese ships. Revenge! They got their revenge. They sail out and begin their pirating adventures where they capture a Dutch Guineaman, but in the end they give back, after plundering it, they give back the Guineaman to the skipper, and they also capture the British ship Experiment. So Roberts then plunders the ship and then just sets it ablaze. You know, it goes up in flames. These pirates, dudes, like, even with Blackbeard and this guy, they had a real knack for burning stuff. Like, Blackbeard burned all those ships at Charleston Harbor. He's burning all those ships. There's a lot of burning. Roberts was like, oh, guys, we're going to vote. We're going to do a vote. Who wants to head for the West Indies, full of tropical islands and lots of rich plunder for the taking? Or Brazil, also a rich place, and I think there's also some exotic islands there. What do you choose? All right, the popular vote is for Brazil. The dudes head out for Brazil, and they head for the island of Fernando. And they head for the island of Fernando. Okay, I already said that. So they set sail. And 28 days later, they arrive at the island of Fernando off the coast of Brazil. Roberts and his boys just do a little bit of sailing, and then they find themselves in the Bay of Los Todos Santos. And what do you think is in the Bay of Los Todos Santos? There are ships, and they're Portuguese. And if you recall from maybe a minute ago, there was the Portuguese that killed Howell Davis, and Roberts is like, we gotta rob them, we gotta burn them. It was a fleet of 42 Portuguese ships. All of them were anchored, waiting for an escort of 2 men-of-wars, each of which had 70 cannons. So Roberts, he is a sneaky boy, and he hides among the fleet of Portuguese ships and manages to force the captains of one of their ships on board his ship. Roberts assured this dude that they were men of fortune. Huh? Okay. I kind of zoned out for a little bit. Okay, what was I going to talk about? Oh, that's right, the dude. So, I think I already said, Roberts assured the captain they were men of fortune, and that he would be sent back to his ship, and he'd be like, oh, you are good, and we will not hurt you, as long as he pointed out the ship with the most treasure. And that's what he does. He said, oh, it's that one over there. And he points to a large ship, which is far larger than Robert's ship. And it has 40 cannons and is crewed by 150 Portuguese rascals. This video is not meant to offend the Portuguese, but to be fair, you did kind of offend Roberts by, murdering his friend. That wasn't very cool, dude. Don't do that. So Bartholomew Roberts sees the size of the ship, and Robert's a smart dude. But he goes for it anyways, because he doesn't care. He's Portuguese. Screw the Portuguese. They killed my father. No, they killed my friend. Bro, Howell Davis, Bartholomew Roberts, long lost father. Okay, what am I even saying anymore? So, I'll get that later. Bartholomew Roberts, he heads straight for the ship, but not before the ship is alerted that, hey, there's pirates. So then what happens is the ship's getting prepared for battle. So Roberts fires off his cannons at the ship, heavily damages it, boards it by grappling hooks, kills most of the people on board, like a majority of the people on board, suffering only 2 people dead. Bro, is he like immortal? Bro, it's crazy. So yeah, it was a pretty risky but profitable thing that Roberts did. So the Portuguese were like, oh, we gotta get him. Okay. The Portuguese outnumber him 41 ships now. 41 ships to 2. What do you think they do? Retreat. They don't really retreat. They're just like, oh, we don't really want to fight. Excuse me? Okay, so this is just like, that was kind of embarrassing for those Portuguese. I was reading the book about them. The book, it was the original book about pirates. It was the general history of the pirates. And they literally said, these men were so foolish, they should not even consider themselves men. Dang! Ouch! Roberts and his men, they're like, oh my gosh, we got treasure. Let's see how much treasure we got. So, you know how they said that they were going to get the largest ship with all the treasure? Let me just tell you something. They sure as heck did. That ship was bursting with gold. Bursting, I say, bursting. The treasure consisted of 40,000 gold moidores, along with several other like valuable chains and trinkets. And one thing that Roberts actually stole was a golden cross. It was a golden cross, which was jeweled and had like diamonds embedded into it. Isn't that crazy? And they also stole sugar, valuable skins, tobacco, a bunch of stuff, and they made an absolute fortune off of it. Hey, it's Carter from the future. I just want to let you guys know that what happened, the footage went on too long. I had like 17 minutes of footage. It was really hard to edit, and I'm just going to cut it here, and I'll include it in next part, and hopefully you guys will like the video. And I hope you really enjoyed this video. I personally enjoyed making it. And just subscribe, 4 likes, and we'll drop part 2. Please like, please subscribe.